Namaste, beautiful yogis. I wanted to quickly come on here and talk about yoga mats and which yoga mat is the best. Now, I obviously don't know which one is the best. I haven't tried every single mat on the market, but I have quite a few favorites and I've tried many mats through the years. So I do have an idea about what a mat should be like and how it should perform. When buying a yoga mat, there is three major things we should look for. How it performs, maybe that's the third quality. The materials, that's one of the most important things we can look at, and how it is built. So the materials, it's the most important thing to me because I want it to be made from natural materials that are biodegradable over time and not toxic to me or the environment. Now, if your mat is made out of PVC, that's quite toxic to you, but also it's not biodegradable, and because those mats are generally not very durable, you will run through many of them through the years and just toss them into the environment. So those are at this point completely useless. We should completely abandon those types of mats and move towards natural materials. PVC is quite toxic, and better not to sweat and just be in close contact with it, especially during your yoga practice, which is something that's supposed to be healing and rejuvenating for your body. So I'm only looking at natural materials, mats made of natural materials, and I have three favorites and they're equally good. They perform equally good for me, and I can recommend them, all three of them, equally. My voice is a little raspy, but the flu is going around, so I feel like my body caught the virus, but fighting. And I haven't even ever caught one in maybe 15 years. But anyways, now it feels like there is too much flu going around and I'm not having the full-blown symptoms, but it seems like I'm a little raspy. Anyways, so the first one I would say is it's a small company, and I will list all the mats below. And if I'm not mentioning some mats, I'll still list them below if I can find them and they're still selling them. The first one is made out of cork and rubber. So the mat is made out of rubber and the surface layer is made out of cork. And cork is a sustainable material because it grows easily, it's biodegradable. So, and also it's antibacterial, and the more you sweat, the more sticky it becomes. So it's from the Gaia guy, and I really like it. Now he has two varieties, the owner, one that is the normal mat and the other is the travel version. I always recommend the travel version for at home because the travel version itself is just under 5 pounds, 4 pounds something, and I think that's heavy enough. I don't like thick mats. They're quite difficult to do things on and to do balancing poses on, so they're not very good for vinyasa or any other things. So for vinyasa, power yoga, for my classes, I do recommend the thinnest mat you can find, just so that you can stick on it and stick the poses. And now if you wanna do something on the floor, on your spine, say on your hip bones, laying on your belly, my hip bones tend to stick, then you're gonna have to double pad the mat, which I often do in the classes, so it's not an issue at all. Under the knees, if you do poses on the knees, which I generally avoid doing often, you will find very few poses on the knees in my classes because we're not meant to crawl after a certain age, I think, and that's something I apply, I believe I apply in my teachings. Anyways, so that's the first mat, the thin Gaia guy. The second would be, let's go with the smaller companies first because it's better to support the smaller guys. The second would be from a company that supports artists. So I've been using it lately. You see it in all my videos. It's with chakras. It's painted by a girl that does my classes and reached out to me, and the whole company, it's Rave Nectar. They do use natural rubber. The top layer is a sticky towel material where they can do the print of the painting. The paintings are fantastic. They don't just offer her paintings, they offer multiple artist paintings. So I think it's a cool project where artists can create paintings, and they're printed not only on mats but also on clothing and tank tops and such things, scarves, I think murals, etc. So you can buy different things, not just mats, but the mat itself is pretty good. There is a party. So that mat is really good. It takes a while to break it in and make it not slightly slippery, but it gets there. And I think I have a discount. I'm pretty sure it's still working, so find it and post the discount below. She gave me a code. And the third one is, I got it as a gift from my partner from Amazon. They probably sell it on other websites as well. I'll list it. It's the red mat that you see in my classes, and it's from Manduka. That's a very popular company. People have been using their mats for over 10 years, and they just don't move. They're natural rubber, and that's it. Again, the regular version is almost 10 pounds, and to me it's very it's a personal preference, but I don't like such a heavy mat, and I also don't like such thickness. I like the thin ones. I think they might be I would double check that, but they're probably 3 to 4 millimeters, maybe less. I'll double check and list it below. So again, I use a light travel version, so it's called a light mat. I'm sitting on the floor and baby is sleeping. So I use the light version again. It takes a little bit to break it in, so when you get it, and if it's a little slippery, don't get discouraged. It just takes a while to break it in. All of them, that applies to all of them, but they do break in. The cork one works really well over time with sweat, making it more sticky, and also with not growing bacteria and such. So it's your choice. I think the artist one is just beautiful and also supports artists. The cork one is a smaller company and you get the cork, and Manduka is a known company, a big company, and their mats are known to last a long time. It's a solid mat, so whichever one you choose, you're not gonna make a mistake. They're all very nice. I'll post them all below, including the exact one that I like from Manduka. I know some of you use the very thick one and they've had it for many years and love it. So if you want the very thick one, if you're not gonna carry it anywhere, you can get that one too. It's really heavy, it's almost 10 pounds, so I do recommend the light one, but you have to go with your preferences. And that's my recommendation for a mat. Hopefully that answers some of your questions, because everybody's been asking about mats and I wanted to address it so that I have it in a video and answer that question. All right, I'm gonna go soak in the hot spring and I'll see you with the class soon.